All right, today I want to talk about what makes a great feature or product page, particularly for B2B SaaS. I want to talk about this because it is arguably the most valuable page on your site, your feature pages, your product pages. It is where you're going to get your conversions from. A lot of times, this is the step right before someone submits a demo. So, for these pages to be put together in a way from a UX standpoint that's quality and get someone pushed through that funnel to that demo is vital. But also from an SEO perspective, you can rank these for SEO. It can give you a significant leg up. And if we talk about companies that are small competing against the behemoths, SEO is a bit of an even playing field here. And so let's take a look at the search engine results for an exceptionally valuable term within this particular industry, which would be HVAC software. It's essentially your product class keyword. And you've got the typical players here, a Software Advice and a Capterra. These are listing sites. A lot of times they're going to win out for these first two spots simply because they're providing comparison, and Google feels like that's what they need to show in those first two results. But as we get down, we see three different competitors here. BuildOps was one of our clients. FieldEdge is a company that I ran marketing for, and then ServiceTitan is an absolute behemoth, quite a bit larger than either of these. It's a multi-billion-dollar company with a lot of VC funding. FieldEdge is growing quite a bit, but still not quite on the level of ServiceTitan. BuildOps significantly smaller. So ServiceTitan, I think it's like a Series F. They're probably headed for an IPO here soon. BuildOps, I believe, is like a Series A with maybe 20, 30, 40 million in funding. ServiceTitan having in the hundreds of millions of funding at this point. So certainly different. BuildUp's never going to be outspending ServiceTitan at this point at like a trade show or with ad buys or with publication buys or with PR, with the number of marketers they can hire, just like across the board, just everything ServiceTitan's going to be BuildOps at. But yet BuildOps is still beating out ServiceTitan from an SEO perspective for a high value keyword. And let's look into why. So I know this pretty well. We built this page. They were a significant budget. This is pre-funding. And so while the page isn't the most beautiful page in the world, it does things really well from an SEO perspective. And let's walk through and see what they're doing well. All right, so top to bottom here, I'm going to go through and then we can dig into a couple things. But this is the H1. And I've got some tools to be able to see this, but the H1 right here is HVAC software, and then their H2 is this. Now, why would you do that? This is much smaller. Typically, the H1 is bigger. Well, the reason is a lot of times your head of sales or your CEO or whatever wants to speak in value-focused language, right? Scaling operations. It's the number one software for commercial HVAC contractors, right? They would not want this to be the giant thing and then this nice and small. So to satisfy the CEOs, there's politics involved here, right? To satisfy the human element of this, of, hey, we're talking to people here, it's this copy. To satisfy the machine, which is Google, we want this. We're trying to tell Google with an H1, what is this page about? And that's where we want to start. You want to think about it the same way you'd think about a textbook, right? So if you had a biology textbook, it's just going to say biology on the front. That is your H1. And then you'll get into your H2s and H3s, which would be, what is biology? There's organic, and there's all these different types of biology, right, that you dive into. And those will be your longer tail terms. Right? That's what your H2s and H3s are for. All right. So that covers that piece. They've done a good job here with get a free demo right underneath. So if someone's ready to go ahead and sign up, great. They've been given the language. They've got an explainer video, and then they go right into, I really like this, straight into some social proof. Shows that other people have used this company before, and therefore they must be, they must not be just a startup with no customers. We then get into features. And I'm just going to keep scrolling down here, in that these are the longer tail keywords, right? So related to HVAC software is going to be elements or features, functionality within that software, which would be scheduling and dispatching. And then look, instead of just doing learn more, they're actually putting what they want the page it's pointing to rank for. So they've got a page, HVAC scheduling and dispatching software, that they want to rank for this term. And so it's important that the link text match the page that it's going to, the keyword that page is trying to rank for. Same HVAC invoicing software, same thing here, all the way down. And these are all H2s. And then they get in their FAQs. All right. And they've used what's called FAQ schema here. I'm not going to go too deep into that. We've got other videos on that. But FAQ schema, really valuable. And then they've got, again, at the bottom, another chance for a get a demo. And then their footer here. All right, great. So that's a pretty straightforward page. It's not a ton of stuff on here, right? Now, I'm going to compare that to what you're seeing on ServiceTitans. And just one more, because this is going to be a good contrast as we look at ServiceTitans. Look at the structure of this. H1, H2, 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 little detail under it, software features, boom, boom, boom. Then the FAQs, boom, 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 boom. Very clean structure here. Now, let's jump over to ServiceTitan. Again, let's see what their H1 is. I would hope that it's this HVAC software. Let's see if they've done that right. All right. Wow. Okay. Yes, it is. They've done a good job there. And then this. And then I want you to pay attention to this. Look at all these H2s. There's no structure here at all. I mean, the entire thing is just massive. It's basically all H2s. Like, how do I know what's most important on this page if almost everything, I'm still scrolling. These are all H2. And finally, we get to another H1. So they really should not be doing this. This should be an H2. And then these should be H3s underneath. But so they've done this wrong. They have too many H1s on this page. And what ServiceTitan tried to do is do too much. They should have broken this up into multiple pages and then linked them together. Because, like, honestly, who's scrolling down this far? They're just trying to do it. This is an old school way of trying to write a gigantic page in order to rank for a bunch of different terms. And it used to work, but it really needs to be broken apart. And so they've really done a poor job here and provided a poor experience with this page. And because of that, they're getting outranked by a competitor that's probably 1/100th of their size. And they're missing out on significant value. And so this is a perfect example of how simple page structure can be used to beat out your competitors regardless of how large they are. It's really how well are you doing in terms of structuring your page, and then can you produce additional support content. And so you couldn't just build one page and rank for it, but if you build one page really well, it's going to take a lot less content, supporting content, to get you above your competitors. There's an old a comedian that said the best joke is one where you cannot remove a single word and it still makes sense. Meaning, strip out all the garbage. If you go through that page and there's something that you can remove it. If it doesn't add to the objective of the page, which for these pages should be ranking for HVAC software. And that's it. That's how to think about these pages from an SEO perspective. You don't have to overthink it. You just need to have these basic pieces on there. And that is the right start for your product and feature pages.